Every virus obeys the same rule. It must move from one living cell to the next, or it does nothing at all. So what makes a virus lethal? Variola virus. A fever climbs. The muscles ache. For days it looks like any other fever. Then small red marks appear inside the mouth. The virus is variola, the cause of smallpox. The marks spread across the face and limbs, swelling into pustules so dense that severe cases fuse into one crust of skin. Roughly 3 in 10 infected people die. Survivors carry the scars for life. For centuries the logic holds, a virus this successful cannot vanish. It is wrong. Variola hides in no animal. Each vaccination strips away another host until it has nowhere to reproduce. The last natural case appears in Somalia in 1977. 3 years later, smallpox becomes the first human disease ever erased from nature. Humanity does not learn to live with variola. It removes it from the world. Variola kills by leaving no infected person untouched, but the virus that follows hides inside a bite and turns a season of rain into an outbreak. Dengue virus. A mosquito lands. Its mouthparts pierce the skin. It leaves almost nothing behind, except a virus already in the blood. This is dengue. 4 related versions circulate through the tropics. Many infections cause nothing at all. Others bring sudden fever, pain behind the eyes, and muscle pain so deep it earns the name breakbone fever. For years, a past infection seems to protect. Sometimes it does the opposite. Immunity to one type can make a later infection with a different type worse. Old antibodies grab the new virus but fail to kill it and drag it inside the cells meant to destroy it. Vessels leak, platelets fall, shock follows. Each year, dengue kills thousands. In 2024 alone, more than 11,000 deaths were reported worldwide. The immune system remembers the virus. The virus uses that memory as a doorway. Dengue turns protection into vulnerability. Yet the virus ahead attacks faster, tearing open the barrier that keeps blood inside the body. Ebola virus. A patient sits upright. Fever, weakness, aching muscles. It looks like malaria or flu. Beneath the skin, the smallest vessels are already failing. This is Ebola. It invades immune cells and floods the organs that govern inflammation and clotting. The liver stops making the proteins that hold blood together. Vessels leak. Fluid drains away. Blood pressure collapses. Bleeding can appear, but the image everyone pictures hides the real danger. Most patients die of shock and organ failure, not blood loss. Some outbreaks kill more than half of the infected. That violence is also a weakness. Ebola moves almost only through contact with infected fluids. The symptoms show. Contacts get traced. Isolation breaks the chain. Ebola is not contained because it is harmless. It is contained because its symptoms reveal where the virus is spreading. Ebola strikes in daylight among the sick, but its closest relative waits in the dark of caves, carried by animals that never look ill. Marburg virus. Deep in an African cave, thousands of bats hang in the dark, never looking sick. A human steps into the same passage. Days later, the fever starts. The virus is Marburg. Scientists first meet it in 1967, when lab workers in Germany and Yugoslavia handle tissue from imported African green monkeys. 31 fall ill, 7 die. Like Ebola, Marburg tears at blood vessels, breaks clotting, and drives the body towards shock and organ failure. In recorded outbreaks, it has killed 24 to 88% of the infected. The monkeys look like the source. They are not. The real reservoir is the Egyptian fruit bat. The virus rides inside these colonies without harming them. Mines and caves are only the crossing point, where humans step into an ecosystem Marburg never left. The cave does not create the outbreak. It opens a door that was always there. Marburg hides in living colonies underground, but the one that comes next can hide inside a human body for years, erasing its defenses cell by cell. Human immunodeficiency virus, HIV. Nothing seems to be happening. No fever, no wound. Years pass while infected cells drift through blood and lymph. This is human immunodeficiency virus, HIV. Its target is not an organ. It hunts CD4 T cells, the ones that coordinate immune defense. HIV slips inside, rewrites its genes into DNA, and stitches that DNA into the host's own genome. For years, the body replaces what it loses. Then the losses outrun it. Untreated CD4 counts fall, and infections a healthy body would crush spread through lungs, brain, and blood. AIDS is not one disease. It is what remains when immune defense collapses. Antiretroviral therapy can drive HIV to undetectable levels and stop sexual transmission. Yet silent viral DNA waits inside long-lived cells. HIV does not defeat every immune response. It removes the system that commands them. HIV measures its attack in years, but the virus after it turns invisible dust into respiratory failure within days. Hantavirus dust rises as a broom crosses an abandoned floor. No animal in sight, no bite. The threat is already in the lungs. This is hantavirus. These viruses live quietly inside rodents. In the Americas, some cause hantavirus pulmonary syndrome. They leave the animal in urine, saliva, and droppings, and once that residue dries, a single movement lifts it into the air. The first symptoms look like flu, fever, fatigue, aching muscles. Then fluid floods the smallest vessels of the lungs. Breathing turns to work. Oxygen drops. Even a ventilator can fail. The syndrome surfaces in 1993 when healthy young adults start dying in the four corners of the United States. Each year, hantaviruses infect tens of thousands of people worldwide. Depending on the strain, the most severe form kills up to half of those infected. Investigators hunt for a new predator. They find an ancient arrangement between rodent and virus. The mouse never has to attack. The air carries what it leaves behind. Hantavirus needs a contaminated room, but the one ahead crosses cities and continents before most of the infected know they carry it. SARS-CoV-2. A person speaks in a crowded room. Tiny particles leave the mouth, hang, then settle in another set of lungs. No surface touched, no warning. The virus is SARS-CoV-2, the cause of COVID-19. Its spike protein locks onto a receptor and opens the human cell for its genes. New copies gather in the upper airways, and every breath and word sends them out. At first, the fear is contaminated surfaces. The truth is harder to contain. Shared air. It travels before symptoms appear, and some carriers never feel sick. That silent window is its engine. By March 2020, it spans every inhabited continent. Most infections stay mild, but severe disease scars the lungs, inflames vessels, forces abnormal clotting, and reaches many organs. More than 7 million COVID-19 deaths have been officially reported worldwide, but estimates suggest the true toll is far higher. Its power was never the fatality rate of Ebola. It was reach. The virus does not need every infection to kill. It needs enough infections to reach everyone. SARS-CoV-2 exposes the speed of a connected world, but the final virus has crossed that world for centuries by rewriting the exact parts immunity learns to recognize. Influenza virus. Inside a single airway cell, genetic segments are copied, assembled, and released. Most changes are tiny, but when two influenza viruses meet in one cell, their segments walk out in a brand new combination. This is influenza. Its surface proteins shift slowly through mutation, the drift that brings the flu back every winter. Larger shifts do worse. They build a virus almost no immune system recognizes. In 1918, one such virus spreads through a world already moving millions of soldiers through crowded camps, ships, and cities. The death toll climbs into the tens of millions. Many of the dead are young and healthy. In the worst cases, the lungs fill with fluid, oxygen vanishes from the blood, and the skin turns blue, and often the immune response itself is doing the damage. It survives because the version that returns is never quite the one your body remembers. The deadliest virus is not always the one that kills fastest. It is the one your body and you never learn to recognize.